Okay, guys. So yeah, so this first outreach kickoff meeting. It meant really to brainstorm together about what kind of strategy we could put in place, outreach strategy, and then we're gonna have still part of the outreach strategy, social media, but I thought to probably require different specific chapter, and then virtual meeting. And maybe I'll clarify immediately the virtual meeting. What has happened a while ago, back on January 27, I forward you that there was some communication that was started by the office of Council Member Levin and also Reynoso. I wasn't aware of Reynoso because I received an email from Ben Soliter, and there was some other committee member which had sent a letter with question to the borough president and the SCC me as a chair about with this question. There's a letter I forward you. And so very quickly, I believe they replied, they asked me if I was open as a chair to have people coming from the office of the borough president to clarify the issue with the WebEx setting and another law and technicality related to the use of WebEx, maybe versus Zoom meeting. And so, you know, I said I was open, you know, I thought it was going to happen. They were going to come to our first committee meeting to clarify, but then a meeting really happened very fast on January 27. They reply very fast. So from the 26th to 27, a meeting was established over Zoom the day after. And so I communicated to our district manager, to Jerry. There was a meeting, and so Jerry communicated to our chairperson, Delis Fuller, and there were several people from the office of the borough president, Sarana Purcell and Ryan Lynch, which I didn't know. None of them personally. Is the chief of staff, and then finally there was actually the deputy borough president that attended, and so things about the use of WebEx were clarified. So WebEx is the platform that has been chosen by the city, especially for liability users. So that's what we have to use. But I believe it's also been clarified that setting need to be changed, and that was very clear. The borough president. So the meeting had to be more participatory, and I believe this is something already has taken place. Or I don't know how the office is organizing that. And if Steve want to say something, because I know he's also on the bylaw and was there at the meeting, want to clarify something by law, you could do that now, Steve, if you want.
You're muted, Steve.
Wasn't much compliance with their own bylaws, but more just the spirit of open meetings that the deputy borough president felt like all attendees being able to see other attendees, you know, who else is attending, and comments being open to all attendees would be, you know, would be full transparency, and that's really what all boards should be doing. I think that was the crux of what was expressed there.
So could you just clarify that this one point? Because I thought you see the attendees. If you're talking about like a video, doesn't everyone have the ability to show themselves on the video when the community's dialing in?
Not community members, just the panelists, just the board members. But and I didn't know this either until people I knew started bringing it up. But just regular attendees cannot see the attendee list, and they can't see commenting going on.
And they can see the chat. I mean, this was something I believe none of us as a board member, we were aware, except other board member, which they did as a trial to experience how the platform will work. And definitely everybody has said, you know, there was not a participatory way. It was even not so far the equivalent of any in-person meeting. But the deputy borough president was very strict, very clear, so about what the law is, and now not only us, but any community board has to definitely adjust to that. So I believe the answer is there, and somehow it's a little bit ironic because the meeting was organized on Zoom by the chief of staff, and I believe he was reapprehended by the deputy borough president about that the meeting should have happened on WebEx. So it is a reality that many other city agencies have decided to use Zoom, despite the fact that WebEx is the platform we should use. But I believe at this point, what is more important is the setting. I don't think it's also would be fair for the staff of our own community board to go through a training, and I believe the platform is fine to use. So I know it was an issue has come to our public meeting. Hopefully this is resolved. We're going to stick with Zoom, and and let's focus on the attendees' experience during the WebEx meeting, and let's see how much these adjustments can satisfy and meet the rules.
Hi. In this meeting, were you allowed to tell them the issues that we're having with the WebEx? Like Toby's gone, the comings in and out of the speakers, the videos, even when you were a panelist. I mean, my son had to do some kind of adjustment for lately. I haven't been blinking in and out. Were you able to give suggestions or tell them what the problems or the issues that you're having with this WebEx?
Honestly, I'm not an IT guy. I don't know who is here on the meeting. I know that Tian is probably somebody much more solid in terms of this knowledge. Maybe can clarify.
Bunch of questions.
Well, Sante, if I may, just to remind everybody that you should have gotten a notice that we're going to do a face-to-face with WebEx on February 11th at 6 o'clock.
There's a schedule, for training, right? Yeah, I have a few questions. One was that about the training. Two is that, are we able to change the settings before like our community board meetings so that we can say, hey, we can mute everyone who's like not talking, because I feel like that's one of the biggest problems we have during our community board meetings, is that someone's microphone is always going off. You can't actually hear anyone talk. Can we get the video to go over YouTube? Where do the videos go after the meeting? Because I don't know where to go check for it. We've also gotten offers from Beta NYC to help set up any technology if we want to reach out to them. Noel Hidalgo, he is part of our community board and has offered and comes to the meeting, so we should also take him up on that. And then I have a bunch of other things. I'll leave it at that.
I mean, definitely, I don't know what it has to do with our line. It's to do. I don't think it's to do with our setting. Now everything is. I was able to watch you, but your video was very delayed. So this, I don't know how you're able to see my video, but I don't know what to tell you about the issue. I mean, those are definitely usability issue. I put it there. So I don't know, everybody, we experienced this. I don't know. What can we do about that, true, honestly? But we can raise this issue if we are all together and there are things that can be improved.
Yeah, because there was just an issue, like Laura Hoffman is a non-board member of the Environmental Protection Committee, and she's feeling discouraged because she couldn't connect to the meetings. And so we connected her to Marie, and Marie was able to work it out so she could connect fully with audio and video last night. So I think as issues come up, they should be just noted and then worked out through the office. If need be, bring WebEx into it. I feel like people who are having issues are now able to connect now, to varying degrees. I feel like there's been outages. There's been infrastructure outages that are affecting, I think, everyone. We had experienced it last night with presenters and.
Last night, Steve, there was a major manhole fire on Manhattan Avenue.
Yeah.
I mean, the fire, maybe the storm, I don't know, but I've been experiencing a problem too. So tonight is bad too. The other night I wasn't able to access. There is to say also, for your knowledge, because last time I could enter, because I use a laptop that worked until like 10 days ago, but had an old operative system. and then I called WebEx, and they made some changes. So in the last week, and so a lot of people with an older operative system, they only can enter through the browser now if they had the app before, so they can do anymore. So it's kind of a little bit, definitely probably may bring other additional limitation. But again, I'm not an IT guy. And definitely WebEx seems, I've been to other meeting, and Zoom seems far more fluent, and maybe that's why people decide to use it. But we can decide together if there's a consistent issue that deprive us from having meeting beyond the idea of outreach. We can't even conduct our own internal meeting. That's a serious issue, that doesn't regard just us, but the entire office. So I don't know
I
if
think- Yeah, I was just going to say, I mean, I agree with what you said earlier. I feel like, how, with, Zoom versus WebEx is that, I mean, I prefer Zoom also. I'm more used to the interface and it's more fluid. But I feel at the end of the day, I think all of them are basically similar in terms of how you connect. You click the link, you enter a password, and you click on audio and you click on video, and you should connect, and you figure out where things are. And I agree, just the idea of asking the board office to learn another software, and at some point, hopefully in the not too distant future, maybe, I don't know, maybe in the fall, we'll be meeting in person again. So just, I don't know, I just don't, my personal experience, I just don't feel like it's worth it to switch at this stage of the game, unless people are having, massive, severe problems with WebEx, but I don't know if I'm really getting that from people.
So I have a question. Are we going to write down the usability problems that we have? Are we going to try to address them? How are we best using the time we have here today? Because if I need to just go and say, hey, this is how we get this hooked up on WebEx after coming from the conference, I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to contribute as much as I can. I just want to know what's the best way of us using our time, because it seems like we're going to use WebEx and we're not going to use Zoom. So let's make WebEx work.
Yeah, that's what I was just stating. Are we going to be able to make a list of the issues? Like you were just speaking to Jan and you went in and out. I could barely hear you.
Me too. Same.
Yeah, see, and I've been trying to get on into this WebEx for 20 minutes. It shouldn't take that long to get in. When I click my Zoom and put in my words, I'm in. I don't blink in and out. Like you were just speaking, I heard half of what you said.
That's frustrating.
Not your fault.
Yeah, and I have Verizon Fios, so I don't know what else to do.
Guys, that's why we put it here: WebEx versus Zoom meeting. Now tonight, maybe it's the outage. It's a very good demonstration of of the bad flow, or maybe of this platform. Again, I don't want to condemn the platform. I believe, to me, the first things I care was how participatory the platform we use could become, and that we have discovered that's not the issue. So I don't know. I mean, Tian, what do you think? You are the one, I'm assuming you have more technology knowledge than anybody else.
I work in tech. The background is I work in tech. I work for Mozilla Firefox, so I work on browsers for a living. That's why I'm offering every assistance as I can.
What's your feeling about this?
Well, one thing is that if I want to know if we can have the video also go to, say, a YouTube channel, can we have it simulcast? Because even if we want to just have it so that community members can see what's going on in real time, maybe YouTube will be a way that they can interact that way. It may pose problems for if they're trying to pose a question. We have to figure that out. They might be able to call in if they want to do that, just as an option.
I don't know exactly. What I know that today I called Marie, and it was more in regard to that. Definitely, the video is something that people has asked also from the community. I was asking if the office was recording more as a record. Was a valued document, even to check for the minute, to keep record of what we have said, and without need to record myself. and Maria has confirmed that she has to upload it, or she normally upload it on YouTube. But I didn't go to verify on YouTube where the video are, but definitely that's something else that has to do with outreach. So maybe Marie can tell us more about that, because I have no idea how we do that. So
I
is
don't
it the
know how it happens, but you can broadcast a video from Zoom certainly to YouTube. I don't know, I would imagine the capability exists for WebEx. I think T, on the point that you raised, that it wouldn't allow participation from those people watching, right? Like it would just be an output, not any input.
Yeah, unless we had someone else monitoring the chat there.
Right.
And that poses a security risk just in terms of, like, we got anyone in the world could then find the YouTube, and then just, like, I know that someone mentioned that they've been Zoom bombed, like, during a community board meeting before, and a lot of, like, anti-Semitic things were said there. We want to also make sure that we have a secure place that people can come, and we have moderation, so we can eject people if we need to.
I see.
Just by the way, Katie Napuskarski is trying to connect, and she's having troubles. She's clicking on the link and logging in. Not be able to-
I spoke to her on the phone. She called, and
Okay.
she wasn't putting in the password. So
Oh, okay.
I don't know if she was able to do that yet.
So there is one attendee up here, one total, 0 displayed. So I don't know who is that, but okay, guys. I mean, this still we ideally could be to resolve with WebEx and try to do as much as we can while we continue to explore. If that's what you all want, what the community wants, or if we are constricted by the malfunction of WebEx, then definitely it's very difficult to have meeting this way. But so that's what I will say. You know, and definitely usability. This is one of the major issue, and inclusivity was another one. But at this point, that's resolved. And definitely something else very important, I thought, is like, maybe not so much with a committee meeting, rules of engagement, you know, and what's the etiquette? Because if we are talking about outreach, and we're talking about communicating to the people out, you know, as a public agency and as a board member, definitely going to many of our general public meeting, they haven't been really a good model of that, you know, and personally, and I know many of you've been in front of the camera, it's a commitment, and maybe that's some resolution we have to find it here, maybe at this committee, and propose it out, that there is an etiquette that needs to be respected. You know, you can't have dinner and just turn off your video and we hear your fork and knife on the plate, you know. I mean, and normally you never do in a business meeting. I mean, yes, probably in a more informal meeting, but there is still a bon ton, some rule that need to be respected. And or you can go at Costco and call us from the car and thinking you are attending at the board meeting, because it's disrespectful, I believe, also towards others that they are there committed and present. So I believe that's probably something, if you all agree, maybe we need to establish some more precise rule.
I don't mind people being elsewhere. I do just mind people not muting their microphones, because we have other, like, for me, sometimes I do need to, we have like 4-hour long community, committee meetings. At some point I will need to eat. So I might face mute and I might mute as well, but I will need to eat. But it's like being mindful of that. It'll be great if we do just say, like, reinforce what the, I would say, WebEx etiquette would be. That would be nice.
Yeah, no, I believe I agree with you, T, and I believe already the major advantage that we have with a virtual meeting is that you don't have to travel to a place. I believe a committing to be a board member, you're supposed to go to the board meeting, and it was at the senior center. You had to go there, you had to stay there. and whatever you had planned around the fact that you may have to face a very long meeting, including dinner, including drink. And yes, probably you can drink water. I'm having a glass of water, and probably the advantage is that you can shut off your video if you need to go to the restroom. You can probably grab something and shut off your video. But I would say 80% of your meeting, you have to be present, because if everybody will shut off this, and that's the message that we send out as a community board and a general meeting, is kind of what is the image of somebody who has never attended a community board meeting? Is this the image that we give? Because I've been to many public meetings, Landmark Preservation Commission, and that doesn't happen. And people stay there for a very long time, 5, 6, 7 hours
Well, I'm
sometimes.
gonna let you know, even in the meetings where we had to step in the room, I ate my dinner. I bought my dinner and ate my dinner.
And
Because
everybody,
I usually have dinner at 7 o'clock.
Dante, you missed that.
I want to eat. And with this virtual thing, I agree with you, Tion. I don't mind somebody being somewhere, because with the virtual meetings, it seems like some of our meetings have changed and people are doing other things. So now they have to also make an adjustment. So they may not be in their home and they're in their car and they're on their way. So they can click on. This gives them the convenience of coming on, you know. Yeah, maybe we need to have some kind of etiquette rules, but I'm gonna eat my dinner. I'll let you know, I'm gonna eat my dinner and I'm gonna drink my water.
No, but I'm saying, right, if you shut off your video for 15% of the time, which is the time ahead, still, you know, you are present visually for a consistent amount of time. But some people never even turn it on ever. I understand occasionally it can happen. Or some people may have even difficulty. Some people may not even have a computer, you know, and of course there's arrangement. And we know the majority we don't, and is the equivalent of attending a meeting in person, you know, with the advantage you can actually be at your home or somewhere else, as long as you're not in the car driving, because it feels, I don't know if you can have the same attention span and commitment, but maybe that's my opinion, and I want to bring that out to you too. So, of course, you can eat, you can drink, you know.
I would just like the one thing I will add to that. I'm an adjunct professor at a university, and one of the things that we like to emphasize is that people's circumstances have completely changed due to COVID. Having a video on can sometimes just be a privilege, because like there are people who may be coming and going in your house, or you just feel insecure about your space. We're now having people into our private space that we wouldn't typically have in like a public forum. So like I understand that having a video on really helps with keeping like they're feeling like connections in the room, but there might be reasons why some people opt to have their video off, even if they're participating.
Yeah, and I would also add, you know, to Tion's point, I think, you know, Sante, you know, that it's when the world is normal and people have normal schedules, you know, we came to the community board meetings. I think they're you know, parents that have kids at home and even their work schedules a little chaotic. So I mean, I think, you know, with regard to video, you can make a request, but I think sort of requiring that it be on, like I think to Tion's point, people are just coping with a lot more right now, just given the lack of work-life balance, et cetera.
No, look, I'm not. I believe somebody maybe took advantage sometime. I don't know who, but generally, I believe maybe let's leave it also to the good cautions of people, you know, and that's why I call it, I don't know how to call it, rules,
I think
etiquette, good manner, whatever, you know, and you need to participate.
Yeah.
And I understand can happen, but make a commitment also with the children. I don't know. You have to do once a month. You have to do some special arrangement, maybe, if it's possible. Some people may not have that capability, you know, and of course, understand. But up to you. You know, it's not my decision, but definitely a thought.
Well, maybe it can just be encouraged versus a hard, fast rule, you know, to be engaged on video.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, encourage. Let's call that. That's a good word. And anything else that we want to talk right now on the virtual meeting?
Yes. Do we have an account for the recordings that have been uploaded to YouTube? Because I've tried to find it before and I can't. And the reason I ask is that I'm pretty active on Twitter, and I also think we should likely create a Twitter account. That will be another way that we can engage with the broader community. And then we can also send them to, like, say, the past videos in case they can't be synchronously with us. I think they'll also just help with the outreach by like reaching out on social media as well.
Yeah, and that's I separate as a point with the social media. So the Twitter is there. I believe we have a Facebook as a community board one, but the last time I believe that there was a login was on May 7th, if I'm not wrong, or May some. Oh, this year. Huh? No, this year, 2020. So, yes, about if we have to close on the WebEx, definitely yes. But social media, it's all another.
Well, there is a, PBS was handling the live broadcasts and recordings during in-person meetings. And so they were had the live stream, and then they would post the post a recording. And then there sporadically, it looks like there's been postings currently to an account, but it just says community board. So it's difficult to find it through CB1 Brooklyn through a search. So is that Marie? Or
Yeah,
Gary?
I was trying to listen.
Yeah.
We have, we don't have a Twitter account, but we do have the YouTube account. If it's difficult to find, then we'll probably have to look for some additional tags to put on it, because that's the way it was set up. For the community board, you're saying that when you search?
Yeah, well, I think that the name just has to be amended to be Brooklyn Community Board 1, and that'll be easier to find.
Because when I've been starting to post the videos and getting the links, I'm comprising a list of all the links, and for each of the meetings that we'll post on the website, so people can link through that. But the in terms of putting the tags in, I've been putting that on YouTube, like Community Board 1, CB1. Right. Putting all. It's like you have to enter that in there. So if it's not taking, we'll have to look
Marie,
at what searches.
If somebody could send around on the original invitation link, the link to the YouTube channel, we could all help promote it. It would be very helpful. Steve, do you have that handy? Could you send that around to the group?
Yeah, I'm trying to find it.
Or Marie? Because I also wasn't sure where to find it online.
I used to watch the one that were put up by PBS. I don't know if it's the same, Steve.
No, it's different.
Oh, it's different. Well, I mean, whatever has happened in the past, I believe we're going to always rename an account, I'm assuming, on YouTube. If for some reason it was named with a different name and it's a little bit more difficult to find, I don't think that's the issue without even look back at the past, but let's look forward the future, and at least we can.
I just typed it in, and I typed in Community Board 1, Brooklyn. I see Madam Chair. I see Madam Chair. I see someone else speaking, and the meetings are there. If I click them on, they will play.
Yes, but that's through PBS. That's 13. I haven't found an account that we.
I see it in the corner, Tian. I see it.
Oh, sorry. What is it? Okay.
I see it now. Yeah, it's not exactly us. It's 13. I can show it to y'all. Yeah. So it's really not.
What do you mean it's not exactly us?
It's channel 13. It's not YouTube.
No, it's not YouTube. Yeah.
But there's another one.
It's on YouTube, but it's Channel 13 PBS, their account, posting the videos there. For any of the recent ones through COVID, I have not found it on YouTube. I just don't know the username. It may just be buried there. I see like Manhattan Community Board one, they have their own YouTube account and you can see all of their videos. I'm just trying to find the equivalent for ours.
Well, that's Marie can tell us which one is the dress if we are curious to see
Yeah.
it.
After the meeting, could send around the link. That would be
Here,
great.
I found it. It's here. Just put it in the chat.
Thank you.
Huh.
I guess we're all trying to check it in, huh?
Yeah, it didn't, the link failed for me for some reason.
Oh,
I
I had to copy it and then put it into my browser. For some reason, clicking on it, WebEx redirects it, and it just didn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah, we see all. I see two more. Yeah, I see it. Yeah. Patient.
Cool. I now
Okay.
subscribe
Well,
to
here,
it.
very cool.
Yeah, so what I would just suggest is changing the channel name to Community Board 1 Brooklyn. So it'll be a little easier to find.
yeah, that's a pain in the neck. And my tablet also redirected me someplace you don't want to be.
Yes.
You won't be there.
Okay, so but they can also be. I mean, I saw that Tian has sent a link. I didn't know this before. Yeah, so they can be streamed live on YouTube. So, did we ever try to do that? No, I'm assuming.
I plan to attend the WebEx training. I'm going to ask them if they will also walk us through getting this to work on YouTube.
And maybe we should have invited somebody from WebEx to our, outreach committee meeting, so they could have experienced the same delay that we experienced today.
I'm not experiencing delay.
Oh, really?
Experiencing delay? Yeah.
Yeah, I see it. I can see Tian, but it's so very delayed. His image, not his voice.
This could be your internet connection.
Maybe it's there was some
Yeah.
problem after the storm, so maybe that's what happened.
There's been massive outages like in the Northeast and in New York and Brooklyn with Spectrum and Verizon. So
Yeah, I have a Spectrum, unfortunately, so that's sometimes it's a little bit more vulnerable. But yeah, I mean, I believe we back to the social media. But before we enter into the social media, because I spoke with some of my neighbors, even people that they don't know exactly what the community board is, but occasionally they try to go on the website. So I believe if we're talking about outreach too, we should look probably maybe what are we missing from our website, and I have done a little bit of based on that, I've done on criticism and comment. I've done a little bit of exploration, going through different community board to see what's available, how other community board, some they even worse than us, some they're far better than us and very advanced. So in terms of what information out there, what kind of material out there, and I believe even before we talk about, yes, social media, great, Twitter, Facebook, but really we need to be properly dressed to say, hey, come here and look at us because we have something to inform you, you know? And I believe this is a conversation that we can have together. I don't know how much you have experienced other community board website. I don't know how much you have been in our website. So yeah, so it's a new conversation to have.
Well, I think essentially it's a good website. The office they transitioned the website off the old system, which was not mobile friendly, to this current system, which is very mobile friendly. And it was really, really good.